1-0. 1-0. Let's go. Victory Monday. Get pumped up. Look, we haven't had a Victory Monday coming out of week 1 since 2016. So if you're not enjoying today, if this isn't the best Monday you've had in the past 5 years, you're doing it wrong. We're going to get into a lot on today's show. But if you're enjoying being 1-0, I want you to like this video right now. Welcome into New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. We have a loaded show as the Giants are 1-0 and have a winning record for the first time since 2016, and damn, does it feel good. We're going to get into some overreactions that I'm seeing all over Giants Twitter. We'll break them down. I'll give you my spin on them. We'll get into some quotes from Daboll, look at the stats from Saquon, Daniel Jones. Then I'll give you 5 big takeaways at the end of the show. But let's start with the overreactions. Everyone on Twitter is saying Brian Daboll's the guy. It was the right hire. Big balls Daboll going for 2. And that's accurate. That is not an overreaction. Brian Daboll was the best hire the Giants could have made, and he has brought a swag, in leadership, in mindset, in a winning culture to a football team that has lacked that since Tom Coughlin was the head coach. Let's break down, though, what Brian Daboll said when he asked the team and was asked why he went for 2 to tie the game up after the Chris Miriak touchdown. He said, I grabbed a couple of defensive players that have busted their tails out there, along with some of the offensive guys that weren't out there, Daboll explained. He said, I say, hey, we score, I'm going for 2. You good with that? And they said, F yeah, we're good for that. He said, we're going to be aggressive. That's what we want to do. That's the mindset. I want the players to have faith. If it didn't work, I can live with it. I thought that was the right decision. You're an inch away or whatever it was. I trust Saquon. And I am happy that number 26 did not get traded. And he is wearing New York Football Giants blue this season. And if he plays like this going forward, he's going to get that contract offer from the Giants. But I want to say this about Daboll. Because if you were watching the watch party, I said, if the Giants score here, I'm going for 2. I'm setting the tone. Go win the game. You're the underdog. You're on the road. And Brian Daboll echoed the same sentiments, and that's what I love. Going for 2 right there set the tone for the season because you told your quarterback, you told everyone on your team and your coaching staff, we're here to play for keeps, and I believe in you. And that got the Giants a dub, and I'm pumped up, and I'm still pumped up talking about it. I know you guys are too. Let's show Brian Daboll some love, though. Type Dabes in the comment section. That's what all the players call him, Dabes. You can type Big Balls Daboll if you want. I coined that nickname on the show last night. That took some grit and some guts to go for 2. And man, Saquon Barkley is special. Type Dabes in the comments. Let's show Brian Daboll some love. Also, that whole last drive when the Titans were driving down to get that field goal on the live stream, I kept saying, sub for Giants dubs. If you subscribe, the Giants will win. I don't want to be called a prophet, but it frickin' happened. Don't jinx it. Don't be that guy this week that was like, we didn't win. I didn't sub to that guy's stupid YouTube channel. Don't be that guy. Sub for Giants dubs. Let's get to 12.5 thousand subscribers. On today's video, let's do it. Sub for the Giants dubs. Is Saquon Barkley back? Is he back to that rare form that we saw in his rookie and sophomore season? You're damn right he is. As a wise guy once said, you betcha. Saquon Barkley is back. That might be the best game I've ever seen from 26 wearing New York Football Giants blue. He looked healthy. He looked spry. He looked quick. He looked decisive. What a game. 18 carries, 164 yards, 9.1 yards per carry. Every time he touched the ball, it was an explosive play. He also had 6 catches, 30 receiving yards, that touchdown, multiple long runs, but 123 yards after contact. That's what was different. He had 3 runs of 15-plus yards, but the yards after contact is what's different. We saw Saquon Barkley lower his shoulder, not shy away from contact, take the dirty 2 and 3 yards, because when you do that, that puts the defense on their heels, and it gives you the opportunity to bust one up the left sideline, holding down the peace sign. Luckily, he fumbled out of bounds. We don't got to talk about that. Didn't look too good, but we kept the ball. But at the end of the day, Saquon is back. And if he can stay healthy, he can elevate this offense from being a below-average unit to a very very special unit on the offensive end. I love Saquon. I love that he's a Giant. I love that he's back, and I'm expecting him to have a big season. What we saw from him last night, where he caught screen passes, and he tried to run right through people. It was excellent. He didn't shy away from contact. He was cool with lowering his shoulder. He was running with a different kind of tenacity and style that we've seen in the past couple of years. He looked like that rookie year Saquon. And behind this offensive line, who struggled a little bit pass blocking, we'll talk about that. But he had holes and he took advantage. This is cool. Is Saquon Barkley back, though? Type Y for yes. Or if you're a fraud, you could type N for hell yes, because Saquon Barkley's back. It's a fact. There's no way that you can watch that game yesterday and say Saquon Barkley is not back, because he is. So type Y for yes, or if you think he is back, you can type N for hell yes. But right before the show, I saw this on Twitter, and it pissed me the hell off. The NFL tweeted out, vote for the ground player of the week. You got Jonathan Taylor, who had 161 yards. You had DeAndre Swift, who had a $144, and Nick Chubb with a $141. I could be wrong here, but Saquon Barkley had more rushing yards than all of these guys. And he had the game-winning two-point conversion. Why was he not on this list? There's only one man to blame for this absolute crime, and it's Roger Goodell. Type F Goodell in the comments section. I feel like he's trying to shadow ban the Giants. He doesn't want us to be great. Honestly, like all jokes aside, how does Saquon go for 190 on the ground or all-purpose and doesn't get nominated as a top 3 back of the week? That's absolute BS. Type F Goodell in the comments section. Daniel Jones was bad. Was he bad? I think it's a little overreaction, but just a little bit. Like I say on the show all the time, with Daniel Jones, you get some good, you get some bad, and you get some ugly. The first half, he played like Dan Jones. In the second half, outside of that terrible red zone interception, he played like Daniel Jones. Dan is bad, Daniel is good. Some good, some bad, some ugly. The interception of Saquon Barkley was a play that a rookie makes. That is something that you don't want to see out of your fourth-year quarterback. But at the end of the day, 17 for 21, 188 yards, 2 touchdowns, the game-winning touchdown pass, the game-winning flick to Saquon on the two-point conversion, the interception. He was under fire and had a lack of protection all game long. So I will give him a benefit of the doubt. The Giants struggled to pass block. 52.6% pressure rate allowed, which was the highest in the NFL coming out of week 1. Did he miss some throws? Did he miss the one where David Sills was running wide open down the left sideline? You can't miss that. That's a layup. You got to score there. Overall, though, he bounced back from that interception, and he led the Giants on a game-winning drive. But these guys up front, they got to be a little bit better in pass protection. Ben Bredesen and Joshua Zudu, they had some trouble blocking Jeffrey Simmons. John Feliciano as well. He got Mark Lewinsky a couple times. I like what I saw from Andrew Thomas. I mean, the Titans, they've got a good pass rush with Simmons, Bud Dupree. I know they're missing their best guy. I thought Evan Neal played well. Nothing great, but pretty solid for a rookie overall. Jones' success will be determined on how well this offensive line blocks in the pass game. They dominated in the run game. Got to get better in the pass blocking department. If you want to make some money, like I did yesterday by betting on Giants money line, do it with our proud sportsbook partner, BetUS. When you go to chatsports.com/bet and use the promo code CHAT125 right here, they'll hook you up with a 125% deposit bonus. So put $100 in, give you a free $125. That's $225 to bet with, and bet on the Giants to win the NFC East. Because somehow, some way, after beating the team that won the AFC in the regular season last year, the Giants are plus 600 to win the division. I already put $100 on the Giants to win the division this morning. Be like me. Let's get rich. Go to chatsports.com/bet, promo code chat125. Also, how are the Cowboys ahead of us when their quarterback has a messed up hand and isn't going to play for 8 weeks? Cooper Rush, he ain't that guy. 5 takeaways that we'll go through somewhat quickly here. Kadarius Toney needs more snaps. I don't know exactly what was going on. Only played in 7 snaps. We know he's been nursing a different couple of injuries all off season long. Maybe they want him to earn it, and that's the mindset they want to instill in this locker room. You don't just get playing time. You earn it. But when he was on the field, when he got the ball, he had 2 explosive plays. You got to get this guy the football. He is too explosive and too good when the ball is in his hands. Brian Daboll said it is what it is. We had different personnel packages for receivers. In today's game, he only had 7 snaps. I find a little bit of BS in that statement. I think there's a little bit going on behind the scenes there. I don't know what it was, but there's no reason your first-round pick from in 2021 should only have 7 snaps at wide receiver. The special teams has to be better. The whatever you want to call it on the extra point, unbelievable. That cannot happen. Also, I didn't feel like they covered kicks that well. There were penalties. The special teams has to be better going forward. Also, the clock management at the end of the first half was maddening. It was like 51 seconds left or 58 seconds left, and on first down, the Giants were going to score. They handed off to Saquon Barkley. He gets a first down. He gets down at about 48 or 51 seconds, and the Giants don't call a timeout. They had all 3 timeouts. They let the clock run all the way down to 23 seconds until they snap the ball again. You take the timeout right after there. You probably didn't expect to get a 12-yard run from Saquon Barkley, so I get that. But once you do, once you overachieve, you take a timeout, you reassess, you re-game plan, and you go try to get points. I know there was a lot of good we won, but I do want to focus on not negative stuff, but things that need to get better. Special teams, clock management has to be better. Wink Martindale is an absolute magician on the defensive side of the football. If you told me that the Giants would hold Derrick Henry to less than 90 yards on the ground after they just cut Blake Martinez, I would have called you a liar. But I'm the guy that looks like a fool. Because I thought Derrick Henry was going to have a great game. But the Giants, they played really well on defense. Wink Martindale was magnificent. I'm calling him now Wink Martindale, the magician. He was incredible on the defensive side of the football last night or yesterday. Sterling Shepard, he was missed. Not only was he someone that's a good receiver and the 70-yard touchdown pass was amazing, but he is one of the best blocking receivers in the NFL. When the Giants decided to change up the game plan and attack on the ground, how many times did you see Sterling Shepard motion in from outside at wide receiver and almost be like a tight end and throw some chip blocks? He played really well. I'm glad number 3 is back. He's a good football player. He loves being a Giant, and he is the longest tenured Giant. I have a lot of love and respect for Sterling Shepard. I want to end the show, though, with this question. What player impressed you the most yesterday? I thought Jihad Ward had a damn good football game. Thought Andrew Thomas played good. I thought Richie James played really good. O'Shane Ximines had a really good ball game. Xavier McKinney was all over the field. Aaron Robinson played good on the outside. A lot of people played really good, but I want you to answer it. What player impressed you the most from last night's game? 1-0. We're here. We're back. Football is back, and so is the New York Football Giants. If you made it to the end of today's show, you're a real one, so drop a real one in the comment section.